Hi guys, today we are with the poem The Music of Love by Ullur S. Parameshwaraya. So I will directly go into the poem. Before that, I will give a short note about Ullur. Ullur, the second of the great poetic trinity of 20th century Renaissance in Malayalam literature, a scholar of deep knowledge and a historian of great eminence. He wrote in Tamil, Sanskrit and English. He believed that he had a mission in his life. Like John Milton, he always praises the great taskmaster to justify the ways of God to man. So, Ullur is more like a philosophic poet. He was born 1877 and he was died in 1949. Music of Love, also known as Prema Sangeetham, which is a translation of Prema Sangeetham that we are learning. He was a marvel of patient maturity, a scholar and historian of great eminence, and a talented poet. Ullur, the second of the great poetic trinity of 20th century Renaissance in Malayalam, started his career as a poet under the guidance of Keralavarma Valiya Koi Tamburan. In addition to Malayalam, he could attain the scholarship in Tamil, Sanskrit and English. So, Ullur Ashan and Valathol are the main are the poets in the Trinity, that is also known as triumvirate poets. Ullur had a message to convey through his poem, and he firmly believed that poetry is nothing if it can't act as a vehicle of ideas. His vision was of a karma yogi. He viewed human life in the form of action, and to act was his life's morality. He describes poetry as a mirror of life and an interpretation of life's principles. Through his poetry, he penetrates into the core and meaning of the existence. His poetry is called for renovating human life from inaction to the path of action. He was particularly interested in philosophy and spiritual subject, which gave him plenty of scope for many things. Ullur's poetry has a neoclassic flavors together with grand majesty and dignity. The poem Music of Love appears in the poetic collection called Mani Manjusha. This poem is unique with its lyrical beauty, theological vision, simplicity of sound and imaginative vitality. It is considered as the Upanishad of love in Malayalam literature. In Music of Love, he says that we taste the fruit of our own action and thus we determine our own destiny. He lived as a theist and believed in presence of God in all living and non-living object. Divine love imparts life to everything, and such love illuminates the universe. Through his poems, Ullur advocates to the lead life of a theist and thus succeed in life. He also believed that success comes to life when one practices the values of truth, love, pity, sacrifice, etc. The believer in him helped Ullur to give a sacred and sublime message of karma. Through this poem, Ullur suggests that there is one and only religion called the religion of love in the life-giving aspect, which makes our life complete and meaningful. This living spirit enlightens our mind and body by existing in various forms of devotion, affection, compassion, etc. Love makes the world lively. According to Bible, love is the greatest of all possession a man should have. It says love is patient and kind. It is not jealous or conceited or proud. It is not selfish or irritable. Supporting this aspect of love, Ullur point out that mistrust or hatred gives a death blow to the life. This blow can be caused for an ultimate death. The intensity of such condition is excellently explained by the poet. Mistrust is deadly and can change the bridal chamber to a funeral pyre. In the second section of the poem, Ullur specifies the logic and philosophy behind the social life that man leads. He is underlying the fact that life depends upon natural or mutual dependence. Nothing can be created in isolation. The universe was created by God, combining earth, air, water, fire, and space. This dependence is described more vividly by the example of pleasing melody being born from the union of theme and rhythm. He points out that one needs the help of the other to create life and happiness. This mutual yearning that sustains life. Man, the unique creation of God, can be considered as the fruit of the tree of their parents' love. The mother carries within her womb the fruit of her love, the child. Love makes the transient, fleeting existence of man as an evergreen grassland, and it is always green. It is our physical body that dies and decays. Memories live forever in the heart of beloveds. The third section reveals some universal truth. The universe is compared to a skilled actor who interprets the voice and mood of its inhabitants. The universal fact of taking and giving is insisted here. We are reminded of the saying, give respect and take respect in all manner. Whatever we give to the world, let that be a smile or a scorn, we would receive it in return. A man with a lamp of enlightenment in his hand brightens the life of himself and others. The first law of creation is the mutual attraction between matter and matter. It is nothing but love that works under their attraction. The beauty of the world can be detected only with a view of a pure mind enriched with love. Certain philosophical views are repeated by Ullur. We also know that there will be a day after the night. We much bend to rise. We receive what we give. The heaven and the hell exist in the world itself. It is the mind of the man that makes the earth a heaven or a hell. Sorrow should be accepted with a far-reaching vision. Life contains both ugly and beautiful aspect, sweet and venomous. But nature, on the whole, provides a harmonious outlook. Man who could lend a kindly look on all these aspects of nature could undoubtedly hear it all, permeating voice, teaching the gospel of love. The voice of love brings the divine presence throughout the world. The next few lines remind us of the works of Wordsworth about the cosmic vision of life and nature. The poet submits himself to the greatness of God, who created the good and the bad. God manifests himself in all forms of life, and the one who is unable to love his fellow being may not be able to detect God. Then, in the last session, he refers the world to a great theatre, and we all are the actors in it. God is the great dancer. Each man has got his own role to play. The poet too is an actor, but he cannot add thrill to the play through his acting. But when man submits wholly to the will of God, when he takes steps according to the choice of God, his dance becomes graceful, and he becomes the reason for admiration of his co-actors and spectators. The poem ends with the note of self surrendered to the poet before the God. He says that the heartfelt devotion makes a man's body the temple of God. The poem is an ideal prayer arising from the bottom of the heart of the poet. It is to make his body and mind useful to others as long as he is alive. So that is the end of the session. Please subscribe to my channel if this video helps you. Thank you.